Dear students, so we were discussing decision theory and we were talking about the different problems and different criterions which comes under decisions under uncertainty. Okay, in the last class we discussed about Laplace criterion or Bayes criterion, and in this class we'll discuss about criterion of optimism. Okay, this is the second criterion which comes under decisions under uncertainty. Fine. Now consider the following problem. The following matrix gives the payoff of different strategies or alternatives S1, S2, S3 and S4 against conditions or events N1, N2, N3 and N4. I have taken the same problem which we considered for Laplace criterion. Okay, we have the same matrix. We have 4 events and again 4 strategies. So now we have to find out which strategy we will be adopting in different cases. Fine. Now, as it is told in this problem, it is a payoff matrix. Okay, so when you take the second criterion, that is criterion of optimism, you have 2 subclassifications in this particular criterion. Okay, there are 2 subdivisions for the same criterion, that is criterion of optimism have Maximax criterion and mini-min criterion. Fine. So here in the problem it is given that it is a payoff matrix. So whenever a payoff matrix is given in the question, you have to remember one thing, you have to consider Maximax criterion if it is a payoff matrix. Okay, that is very, very important. Suppose if it was a cost matrix, then which criterion you will consider? Then you will have to consider mini-min criterion. Now in this problem, it is given that it is a payoff matrix. So we will be taking the first criterion, that is Maximax criterion. So this criterion is used for solving payoff matrix. Okay, now let's solve this. So you have to divide this word, that is Maximax, into 2 parts. So Maximax. So first is maximum and again maximum. Okay, so if you remember in that way, it is very easy to solve the problem. Okay. Now consider this problem. Here we are going to write the expected payoff. Expected payoff. Okay. So here expected payoff in Maximax criterion. Now look at the first alternative S1, which is the maximum value here. 1000, 1500, 750 and 0. So the maximum value is 1500. So I write the maximum value there. Then again, second strategy or second alternative you take 250, 2000, 3750 and 3000. So here it is 3750. Okay. Then the third strategy minus 500, 1250, 3000, 4750. So here it is 4750. That is the maximum value. And if you consider the fourth strategy minus 1250, 500, 2250 and 4000. So 4000 is the maximum value, right? So here this is Maximax criterion. So we have all the maximum value, and out of this, which is the maximum value? Already we have selected maximum value for each strategy, and among these values, that is expected payoff, which is the maximum value that we have to find out. Now it is 1500, 3750, 4750 and 4000. So the maximum value is 4750, correct? And this is corresponding to S3. So we can write that according to Maximax criterion. So this is Maximax criterion. The alternative that we are selecting is S3. We need to select S3 as our alternative. Okay, according to Maximax criterion, we need to select S3 as our alternative because the maximum value is corresponding to S3. Fine. Now consider the next criterion. Suppose this question, instead of payoff matrix, if it was a cost matrix, I am taking the same question. Now suppose this is a cost matrix, then how you will find out the value using criterion of optimism? Okay, now consider that this is a cost matrix. If it is a cost matrix, again similarly, just like how we found out there, we have to find the expected payoff. Okay, expected payoff. Now this is mini-min criterion. Again divide this term into 2, min and min. Okay, minimum of minimum. Fine. If you remember in that way, it is easy to find the answer. Okay. So out of this, which is the minimum value? 1000, 1500, 750 and 0. 0 is the minimum value. Again, for S2, if you take 250, 2000, 3750 and 3000, 250 is the minimum value. Then here it is minus 500, 1250, 3000, 4000, 750. So minus 500 is the minimum value. Here minus 1250, 500, 2000, 250, 4000. So here again minus 1250 is the minimum value. Correct? So here out of this, which is again the minimum value, that is what mini-min criterion says. First you need to find the minimum value, and out of this, which is the minimum value. So out of this, minus 1250 is the minimum value, and this is corresponding to which strategy? S4. So here according to mini-min criterion, we will select S4 is our alternative. S4 is our alternative. Okay, so I hope this is a very simple method. I hope you have understood this. There is nothing to worry about this particular method. Only thing is, whenever a question is given, you need to check whether it is a payoff matrix or a cost matrix. Now actually it is a payoff matrix which is given in this question, so definitely we have to select Maximax criterion. Okay, now I have explained this with the same problem, considering that if it was a cost matrix, then how we will be doing. Okay, so since this is a payoff matrix, first criterion is that is Maximax criterion is the one which we need to select, and in Maximax criterion, first we need to find the maximum value for each strategy. Out of that, again the greatest value should be selected, and the alternative or the strategy corresponding to that maximum value is considered. So here when you take the maximum value is 4750, so it is corresponding to S3, so our strategy is S3. Okay, now if it was a cost matrix, then again we have to select mini-min criterion. In mini-min criterion, you have to consider the minimum value for each strategy. Out of the minimum value, whichever is which is the lowest value, that is to be considered. So here the lowest value is minus 1250. Okay, and it is corresponding to S4. So we are selecting S4 as our alternative. Hope you have understood this particular criterion, that is criterion of optimism. Thank you.